Welcome to Fundraising Confessions, the truth behind the profession. Leading with heart, what it really takes to fundraise for your community. Our guest today, Ms. Shonna Majors, Executive Director of Brightwood Community Center. Hey, Shonna.
Hi, how are you doing, Miss Rochelle?
I'm doing very well. I'm so excited to see you today.
I'm excited to be here and thank you so much for having me on. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you. This is a vehicle, where nonprofit leaders, fundraisers, and community champions discuss what really happens in the fundraising world and what it takes to actually sustain a mission, right? We say fundraising, we say professional fundraisers, right? We run campaigns, but what does it really take to fund your mission? And so I am your host. Rochelle Jerry, founder and CEO of Jerry Consulting Group, and host of Fundraising Confessions, the truth behind the profession. And today we're diving into the real story of what it takes to fundraise for a nonprofit that's deeply rooted in the community, equity, and generational impact. And so I have admired you since I met you and working with you this summer. So I'm just looking forward to hearing all about the wonderful things you're doing and assisting your community on the east side of Indianapolis. So let's discuss connection, support, and hope. So, Shonna, tell
Yeah.
us tell us about you, your background, and how you got to Brightwood.
Okay. So I'm born and raised here in Indianapolis and kind of was transient growing up. So I've lived on every side of town. I think that's why I know so many people, right? Far east side, west side, north side, south side, everywhere. Went to Indiana. I'm a graduate of Indiana State University and began my career after college in the Department of Corrections, where I worked with young people, the men, the women. I worked in the capacity of reentry, um, uh, work release, so just kind of a gambit in that field.
Uh-huh.
Kind of got tired of that and wanted to get out in the community and start helping doing some prevention work with people not going to prison. Um, and so I began working in the nonprofit world. I worked through Work One, got into some HR work, and then missed people a lot more. So also did a stint out in Philadelphia where I
Oh,
was able to work in the first 4 years of President Barack Obama's administration in
nice.
the Department of Labor. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
super proud of that accomplishment. Decided to move back home for family purposes and started working again back in reentry and prison. And then I took accepted a role with the mayor's office for the city of Indianapolis as the first director of community violence reduction, and that was about 2018, where I was tasked to come up with a citywide plan to reduce violence,
Uh-huh.
gun violence specifically.
Uh-huh.
And so while doing that work, I really carved out a lane for myself working with youth, and so got a little burnt out on going to homicide scenes and things like that and wanted something happier. And so here I am, come to Brightwood Community Center.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So tell us about the mission of Brightwood and why does this mission matter to you personally?
Sure. So our mission is to really service the whole family. So we have youth programs to do that. We have men's groups, women's groups, food pantry, workforce development. So I really came to Brightwood, and it was flat, right? It was
Uh-huh.
um, a lot of rebuilding, a lot of fundraising, a lot of grant
Yeah.
writing to get us where we are now.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, our mission is just to work with the family and the communities in a holistic way, and really press in on wellness. To be honest,
Yeah. Yeah.
and wellness means mental, physical, emotional, all of the things. So
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the specific programs within the community with Brightwood Community Center.
Sure. So when I first came in, I did a lot of chatting with the neighbors and what they wanted to see and what would be helpful, and trying
Mhm.
to not duplicate services that my brother and sister organizations are doing in the area. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
But our programs consist of workforce development, where we're able to help people, especially our young folks that maybe didn't want to go to college or military or any of that, get into building trades and logistics and healthcare and culinary arts. So we have those programs that we're able to pay the tuition for them to go. Complete the training, and then on the other side, help them find work afterwards.
Mhm.
Um, so that in a nutshell is our workforce development. Then we have our food pantry, where we are in a food desert of good, wholesome food. So we do that on a monthly basis. And that was really geared for our seniors. But with everything going on, we're seeing more families taking advantage of that. So I'm proud to say we'll be expanding that next year so that the seniors have their own food pantry where we're able to also deliver out to them if they can't come and get it. And then, of course, the big one for the community to come in and enjoy. Um, our youth programs are, this is where I really shine. My summer camp is my absolute favorite thing.
Oh, nice. Tell
I
us all. Tell us all about it. I
absolutely
love a good
love
summer
summer
camp.
camp, girl,
Yeah.
kids. So when we came in, we had about 30 the first summer I did it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so, of course, there was no staff. It was me and some volunteers and some high
Mhm.
school kids that I got together from the neighborhood to help me
Mhm.
out. To where we are now, we're seeing over 50 kids come in now.
Wow.
And I have my core. I tell them my core 20 that still come every single year.
Nice.
We've done it for 4 years, and we really, Miss Rochelle, try to focus on experiences for our kids.
Mhm.
We want
Mhm.
them, we've taken them canoeing and fishing and overnight camping and swimming and roller skating. And it's been really cool because a lot of them, when they first got here, was like, I don't want to do any of that. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. And then once they had the experience, now you can't get them out of a canoe. You can't
Right.
get them.
Right.
Right. And then
Right.
we do have an academic focus of reading.
Yeah.
Literacy is a problem in
Yeah.
our state for sure. Um, so I could keep talking about summer camp, but so in the
Yeah.
other youth realm, we partner with some of our guys and do some basketball leagues a couple times a year for our teenagers, our young people, that in
Mhm.
between playing for school and things like that. And with those, we've been doing those basketball leagues for a really long time. So now the kids that were young, they've graduated, we're seeing them go to college or the military or whatever that looks like. And then some of them come home in the summer. So we do a summer adult league now. So they've crossed over into the adult league. And
Mhm.
it's just cool. So now
Yeah.
those kids are coming home and want to be coaches for the youth leagues now.
Nice.
So it's just a nice circle.
Mhm.
And then we also do a little bit in the way of helping people navigate some legal issues, such as
Mhm.
driver's license and expungements, because as you know, that can hold people up in moving forward in jobs and
That's
everything.
right. That's right.
And I'm sure I'm forget. Oh, last thing I'll talk about is the mental health work we're doing.
Mhm.
With the shortage of um, therapists of color, so to speak,
Mhm.
and really
Mhm.
therapists all over, just period. We really wanted to become a front line
Excuse
for
me. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm still like getting a little tickle out my throat.
it's
Go ahead.
it's all good. It's tis the season.
Yes.
The season's changing.
Mhm.
But that mental health wellness piece goes across the gamut from men, women, and the youth.
Mhm.
We're talking about teen dating violence, domestic violence,
Mm.
gun violence,
Yeah.
overdose, um,
Mhm.
suicide prevention. So, really
That's good.
trying to be that first line of defense in the community at the grassroots level, and then able to, if people want to deepen the work, refer them on to the real
Yes.
experts, right?
Yeah.
And trying to bust that stigma down because people are like, oh, I don't want to go, to the shrink or sit on the couch or whatever. And it's like, no, we have to
Yeah.
work through these things. That's the only way to break
Yeah.
generational curses and all of those things. So
Yeah.
I think in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do
Yeah.
here. And just again, if we don't have it, we really do a good job of referring people to those that do.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Your experience, your achievements, what you've done at the community center since you've been there. I appreciate seeing it, and I appreciate seeing the growth and development.
I
Um,
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
yeah,
It's been a hard journey, and I'm sure we're going to pivot into what some of those challenges look like for small
yeah.
grassroots, especially.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive on into what some of the biggest lessons are. Because we know it hasn't always been, that excitement in the programming and that big hug around the community. So talk a little bit about the lessons you've learned about leading, a community-centered organization, with heart and strategy.
Yes. So, and this is my first time actually on paper running a community center. I've worked
Yeah.
at different ones and been titled differently and kind of ran operations. So the thing for me, one of the challenges, first one I had is I didn't have any staff. I had
Mm,
a team of volunteers that helped
hmm.
pull off the food pantry and the summer camps and things like that. So really digging in and trying and writing grants and finding funding to
Mm.
be able to hire
So let's
people.
pause there, right? Just putting an organization on your back and just
Yeah.
saying, right, okay, we can do this. I can figure this out, right? And now you have how many staff?
We're up to six. It's six
Wow.
of us. And
Mm,
I always tell a story of when I walked in the door, it was $60,000 in the bank from an SBA loan, and which was my salary at the time, and no staff, and was like, okay,
yeah.
holy moly
Wow.
guacamole, what are we gonna do here?
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
really important. I would say this too: partnerships mean everything.
Yeah.
Being able to collaborate with different
Mm,
agencies and partners to do the work. Um, Early on, I've always been a big advocate of domestic violence, and so partnering with
mm,
the Domestic Violence Network and well, they're now Domestic Violence Prevention Network
yeah.
and Indie Champions and the
Yeah.
Code in place, and so not having a whole lot other than the community to bring in
Mm-hmm.
service. And so that's how we partner to start making things move. And
Yeah.
just forever grateful for those because partnerships are a key to a lot of success in
It
our work.
is. It is. And they don't tell you about like all the fundraising that's necessary as an executive director, right? The
Yeah.
stewardship, the cultivation of relationships, the balancing, So how do you balance managing the programs, the staff, the operations, the community needs, right? Your board, and still having to raise the funds to keep it all going.
Prioritizing, I would say, is the one major thing, and making
Yep.
sure that we're all on the same page and that we're all working on the same goal. Having a good working board to help with fundraising is really critical.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, with the partners and the collaborations and getting to know funders and what they vision funding and how do
Yeah.
we tell them what our vision is and how that coincides and aligns with each other has been
Mm-hmm.
really critical. And then just really simply the blessings, Miss Rochelle. We
Amen.
had as a quick story and example, when I was over, so we started in the annex building when I took over. We were in a
Okay.
small 1,000 square foot annex building over on 22nd and Arsenal. And we transformed that little building. Bowen Engineering, real shout out to Bowen,
Mm-hmm.
got together with some of their partner friends and built us a park for the kiddos over the playground.
Nice.
Um, And so even though we had Frederick Douglass down the street and we have JTB Hill this way,
Yeah.
it was like the kids that here that maybe aren't quite able to go
Yeah.
walk those distances, but they
Mm-hmm.
us. And plus with the summer camp and the youth programming, the kids just absolutely loved it. And I didn't have money to build a
Yeah.
a playground for these kids. So that's just things like that that occur. Just recently, we were contacted by Lowe's
Mm-hmm.
and said, hey, we saw your building. They sent a representative over. They walked through. They kind of dreamed with me a little bit, listened to what my vision is for the building. And here we are. We're about to go pick up a donation of windows and
Oh.
kitchen cabinets and countertops because
Mm.
so fast forward, we now have purchased the first time in Brightwood Community Center's existence their
Mhm.
our own standalone building. Like we're not in the
Oh.
basement of anybody's building. We're not
Right.
renting. We are now owners of our own space. And so
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we went from we called it a little shoe box, and now we're
Yeah.
in a 15,000 plus square foot facility.
Yeah.
It's a former church over here on
Yeah.
34th and Forest Manor, in case nobody's come over and seen us yet. But
Yeah.
what a blessing, right? And so not only that, we also included in our purchase was a 5-acre sports complex, a block up the
Mm.
street. So it
Mm-hmm.
has 5 baseball slash softball slash kickball
Yeah.
fields, volleyball. They do everything over there,
Yeah.
and a half court basketball court. So just really the blessing again, people seeing
Yeah.
the work, seeing the things, and they're like, all right, we've got windows to donate. Here you go. So now, okay, we have windows. Now my next step is who's going to install these windows?
Right. 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 That's
Right.
wonderful.
So those things, just networking, I think I would say
Yes,
is critically important.
it
Um,
is.
Networking with people such as yourself, who you've been in the game a long time, and you
Mm-hmm.
were really able to help me think about fundraising in non-linear way,
Yeah.
right? Not just
Yeah.
here it is. It's like, no,
Right.
you can do this and
Right.
this and this and this and that, and it helps everything come together. So
That's right. All of the branding, the awareness, the communications, right? All the
yeah,
people that can help you with just engaging in the community, right? Just
absolutely.
empowering uh, volunteers and your stakeholders to also help you along the way. That's good. So,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about what that fundraising behind the scenes looks like for you, right? Is it you mentioned partnerships or the sponsorships, events, grants? Is it that one-on-one individual relationship? What does that look like for Brightwood Community Center?
Yeah, so we have quite a few faith partners as well, who
Hmm.
their congregations come in and help volunteer. We have other organizations and companies that want to do, for example, Lily does
Hmm.
a volunteer day. United Way does a volunteer day.
Hmm.
Getting to know the volunteers, because guess what? They don't necessarily work for United Way or Lily. They
Right.
work somewhere else and they're coming in to volunteer. So now
Yeah.
they're being exposed to what we're doing, and then they're going back and talking to their people, and going to an indie chamber business meeting, and going to
Hmm.
all of these things. So
Hmm.
just really out spreading the word, like you said, the marketing pieces.
Yeah.
um, we've really gotten into cold calling companies. I think about my employment person who connects people with jobs. Her sole job is to go out and engage employers. But then at the same time, the employers come here and we'll do a job fair, and they're like, oh, we want to donate this to you guys and donate that to you
Yes.
guys. And or my sister-in-law works over here and they do this and that. And so it's just
Yes.
that 6 degrees of separation that you can get into. Uh,
Yeah.
Definitely being a part of the Martindale Brightwood Quality of Life Plan has been helpful. We
Yeah.
are there's 10 pillars, and we lead the one on public safety.
That's
I
good.
can I can't get away from it, girl. I try,
Yeah.
but
That's
it,
okay. That's
it's
okay.
in my blood.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
partnerships. are there. And now we have Indy Parks as a part of our public
Mhm.
safety. And so now it's like, okay, we're working with you guys on public safety. How can we get more of the kids coming to the parks? How can we get
Right.
more of the, so again, those synergies coming together,
Yeah,
and everybody wins, especially the community,
that's
and I
right.
think that's my number one thing is not so much what I can do for the Brightwood Community Center, but more so what can be, um, how can we be used
Mhm.
to better the community?
That's right.
So that looks like advocacy, that looks like fundraising, that looks like partnership and strategy and all of those things. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so when you think about, that nonprofit fundraising piece, right? What's a myth about fundraising that you wish more people, especially board members and community partners, understood about what it takes?
I think it is not easy, first of all. And it's not just because you know people
Mhm.
that work in these places, right? You have to
Mhm.
know the right people.
Mhm.
You have to show the value in what you're doing and how it's helping the community, how
That's
to
right.
articulate the mission. I
That's
think
right.
and bringing that human connectability is probably the best thing I can say. You can't just expect,
Right.
right, people to,
Right.
to give because they're in a position to do so. They have to like you and want to support your work. So
Yeah.
um, it's never easy. Grant writing is a part of fundraising. It is not easy.
Mm.
And you can't use cookie cutter approaches, I would say. That is
That's
the last
right.
thing I would say.
That's right.
Everything has to be, you know, individualized to either the company or the group or the people you're working with.
Mhm.
What feeds the cockles of their heart, right?
Mhm. That's right. And I like to also tell people that, having that measurable outcome clear,
Yes.
right? Because everyone has a program or a mission that deserves to be funded, right? But it's how you articulate that mission. How do you uh, communicate and recruit people from the community, right? Because grants are designed to uplift your community, not
Right.
fix your roof, right? I
Right.
mean, right. So if you're not engaging the community, right, how are you how are you growing your organization and fulfilling the needs of the community? And I think that's a piece that a lot of people miss as far as the grant world is concerned. That those partnerships you mentioned,
Mhm.
right, engaging the community is super important, right?
And I think you have to really, with those partners, outline, I believe in MOUs, right? Memorandums of understanding or memorandums of agreement to outline, we're doing A, B, and C. You guys are doing, X, Y,
Right.
Z. And together in the synergy, we're going to produce these results.
That's right.
And what you just said is absolutely hitting the nail on the head. People want
Hmm.
to, not just because it hurt, if they feel it in their heart, but they want to see that there's
Hmm.
being progress made. You can't just, I'm going to give you all this money and nothing's changing.
Right.
You
Right.
have to see the change in either the
Hmm.
community physical look, the community's attitude about being a community and being healthy neighbors,
Yeah.
um, people thriving and just not surviving.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, that is critical to fundraising as well, is being able to have, I call it my report card on how we're doing.
Hmm.
In these programs,
Hmm.
we've got 100 people doing this. Of that, here's the success rate, and so on and so forth. So it's just not about, oh, I love the kids, I'm just going to give you this. It's like these
Right.
kids are seeing a difference in school throughout the year.
That's
The
right.
parents, and this is the feedback we love. When the
Yeah.
parents see us again or call us, or we've got something else going on, we keep in touch with them. And they're like, girl, they haven't been nowhere near the behavior issue.
Yeah.
Having them in your program is really helping.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to do. We want to support the family,
Yeah.
um,
That's good.
because that's the cornerstone of a healthy community, in my opinion.
That's right. That's impact.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's right. So tell us about a time where you had a financial challenge and how you navigated
Well, I can tell you, there's been some
it.
moments with,
Mhm.
and I'll even bring it to right now.
Yeah.
We've had a change in our landscape. Um, not going to dig too deep into
Mm-hmm.
it, but on politic wise, but
Yeah.
there are changes coming through federal funding, through state funding, through local funding, through
Mm-hmm.
philanthropy funding, and you have to be ready to cut some things out and do more, still do more with less.
Mm-hmm.
And the key again is, okay, if I have four partners and they get a little this to do this and they get a little that to do that, how do we leverage resources
Mm-hmm.
to be able to still do the work and serve the people?
That's right.
And so I think that when the money gets low and gets funny, because it does at
Mm-hmm.
times, and you just pray, Lord, please let the next whatever happen. God is good.
All the
It
time.
it just takes hard work and persistence.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
fundraising, grant writing, donations. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, and really
Yeah.
when I say taking care of our individual contributors. We have people
Yes.
that send checks randomly, right? It is so important and critical
Yeah.
that they
Mm-hmm.
feel appreciated for doing it. But then also I want them to see again the report card on where's that what you just donated to us. This is where it's going.
Yep.
This is how this affects what we're doing. And I think that donor relationship is critical in hard spaces. So I think
Excuse
to
me.
sum it all up, you okay? I'm sorry.
Yes, child. Fine. You know.
I think to sum it up, it's important to, forecast, making sure
Yeah.
that, because you can put in a grant for X amount of dollars and you can do your budget based on that, but there's a reality that you're not going to get what you asked for and you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
to scale it back. But how do you scale it back, keep your staff,
Yeah.
and do the work, right?
Yeah.
And so again, I know I sound like a broken record, keep talking about these partnerships, but they are
Yeah. It helps.
partnering with schools, partnering with, because if you can partner with a school and they can provide you a space to do your after school program, well, now
Mm-hmm.
guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to
Right.
transport the kid. That's money, transportation. I'd rather transport one or two of us to a location of 30 kids versus trying to figure out how to get all of them here.
Yeah.
Because then one of the short changes, we have one 10 passenger van,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to transport the kids a lot. And
Yeah.
so, how do we get more vans? How do we you know, get
Mm-hmm.
more transportation. So again, just changing how you do it. We'll come to you, then we won't need the three vans to transport all the kids. Well, we need it, but
Yeah.
um, because it is a hindrance, right? You have to rent cars, and I'm thinking about summer camp when we have field trips now.
Yeah.
That funding has come down too, and so all
Yeah.
right. I still want to take my kids for a field trip, but I've got to think about how much is the rental going to cost? How much is,
Mm-hmm.
renting Miller Transportation bus is not cheap.
Right.
We're looking at $600 every time. And if you
Yeah.
take that once a week for 6, 7 weeks, that gets costly.
Oh yeah.
Um, so how do I figure out, there's churches in the area who you're not using your church van during the day on the
Yeah.
week. Can we,
Mm-hmm. That's
kind of
right. Getting creative with your community and your
have,
partners. Yeah,
yeah.
that's good. That is great advice, Shauna. And so, what advice would you give executive directors who are struggling to align their fundraising with their mission and values?
I think you have to have Miss Rochelle Jerry be your career coach.
Okay, nice plug. Nice plug.
And that's sincere, Miss Rochelle, because you were my fundraising coach, and you opened my eyes to things that I hadn't thought of. Like I said earlier, that linear thinking. So really getting someone on your team that understands what
Yeah,
fundraising is and how to do that, whether
yeah,
that's a board member or if you have a director of development or whatever that is,
yeah,
the executive director, if you're small, you
yeah,
do multiple things, right?
yeah,
Um, and sharing
yeah.
your needs. You just never know. We have a wish list tab on our website where we,
Mm-hmm.
things that we use on a regular basis. And it's just, again, it's God's way when people call you on a humble and say, hey, I've got, you know,
Yeah,
60 um, pairs of water goggles for your kids for swim. I'm like, yes.
yes.
It's one thing, yes, I have to buy because those kids wear me out with it. Well, Miss Shonna,
Yeah.
they took my goggles and I want them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great, right? Praise God. I know. And so thank you for the shout out, one. I appreciate that so much. I say this is my ministry, right? It is a result of me being in the industry and watching executive directors struggle and make decisions based off of funding, right?
Mhm.
And creating sustainable funding models has always been something that I've seen and had to deal with in my career. So I create spaces like this for so we can have a collective conversation of how to help each other. And so if you want to give back, reach out, say hi, do so to Miss Shonna Majors at Brightwood Community Center. But I also want to know, Shonna, how do you take care of yourself and your team when you're juggling, excuse me, all of your expectations and
Mhm.
operational realities? Because I've seen you go through some hard times and some challenges, and just come back just as vibrant and lovely and delightful. So how do you take care of yourself?
So I'll be transparent. I'll start with the staff first because I take care of them. Those are my
Yeah, yeah,
um the ways that because we can't pay people a whole lot, right? Livable wage,
yeah.
probably. But the build-in is, having a flexible schedule,
Hmm.
being able to go home at noon on Fridays and have, more time with your family.
Yeah.
Um, Around here, we get people bringing kids to work on Fridays. We get puppies brought to work on Fridays because that's on
Hmm.
Fridays. So that quality of life for them to be able to do what they need to do is how they're taken care of. For myself, I probably get a big fat D minus, um,
Hmm.
because I'm one of those people that want to make sure everybody else is good, make sure everybody else is good, and then I'm looking raggedy at the end of the day,
Hmm.
right? So and I've been setting boundaries for myself, as in
Good.
when my last meeting is over for the day,
Yeah.
that phone is coming off and I'm not taking my laptop home.
Yeah.
It's just those little things for me. Such a workaholic because I'll be in the bed at 12,
Right.
13, or
Right.
researching or
Right.
whatever. So really that work-life balance has been a critical piece for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not perfect at it, but I think having the awareness is the first step that you
Yeah.
have to take care of yourself. And
Yeah.
those of us that work in this field are just nurturers and givers, I believe. And so
Yeah.
you can give out too much and have nothing. So surrounding yourself with a support team that pours into you. These guys here will kick me out of here if it's getting crazy and I'm burned out and they're like, yeah, you should just go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got this,
Yeah.
so
That's
that
good.
feeling of developing a team that you can rely on for that support. And we tell each other when things are going on and things are getting deep and it's spilling from home and you're bringing it here. Having those transparent conversations are important.
Hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
self-care. And I think that self-care is more than just me going to get my nails done or get my hair done. It's me being able to take 15 minutes and meditate and breathe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
me going for a walk. We walk the neighborhood quite a bit around here,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it's warm. Not today, it's a little cold, but
Yeah.
typically, even bringing stuff into the center. We have a treadmill now. We have a boxing
Oh,
punching bag.
good. Oh,
And
good.
everybody sometimes just needs to tap out. I still love a good massage for my self-care. But so
Yeah.
yeah, just being aware and creating the space for yourself is important because um, typically by the end of the year, I'm toast. I have
Yeah.
given all I have to give. And
Yeah.
so that's the other piece that kind of at the end of the year for that week of Christmas and New Year's, we
Mm-hmm.
shut the whole center down
Yeah.
for those 2 weeks. And everybody, it's called staff rejuvenation time. It's
Good.
everybody to disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
go home, enjoy your family, enjoy yourself, whatever that looks like. And then when you come back in here January 5th, it's
Yeah.
time to get
Yeah.
back at it,
Right. Get back at it. Nice. Nice. And so, how can we support Brightwood Community Center and stand alongside the families you serve? What's happening? What's coming up? 2026.
Sure. 2026, we are looking, so we had a really big focus on domestic violence, intimate partner violence. And so now we want to kind of expand that into um, trying to help reduce the infant and maternal mortality rate of course, 46218 has a pretty high occurrence of that. So getting more education and awareness out in the community. So if you champion that, if you champion men's mental health, if you
Mm-hmm.
champion any of the things that we're doing, we're going to do more with the fathers with these
Mm-hmm.
women. So the vision is if we have new moms to be, um, we want to incorporate some doula training here. So
Mm-hmm.
through our workforce and actually have it here, which I'm so excited about.
That's good.
Um, and pair those trained doulas with young mothers and fathers that are first time or haven't it's been a while or whatever that looks like, and getting through a healthy pregnancy and
Mm-hmm.
following them up for a year after the child is born, because that's that critical time frame to reduce um,
Mm-hmm.
those things happening. So
Mm-hmm.
anyone that wants to come in and offer any parenting classes or, gift
Yeah.
certificates for Pampers and or, I'm I'm not a parent, but I know that it's
Yeah.
expensive Pampers and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So any of those kind of things. We also always look for career speakers in our summer camp. It's never too early for kids to start dreaming about what they want to be when they grow up.
That's right.
And so we've had Colts players coming here, IMPD, the fire department, lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
so we want some doctors, some medical field people coming in.
Yeah.
And those things don't really cost anything but a little bit of your time. Um,
Yeah.
Board members, next year we're looking to expand and add some more board members to our board, people
Mm-hmm.
that believe in this vision and want to help us push it forward. So I think that there's a lot of, and if nothing else, tell a friend to come and get this information,
That's right. That's
bring
right. I
people.
like that so much.
Yeah, so bring a friend. We started this thing we called, and I have to give my board chair this, and then I'll shut up.
Okay.
Thing we call it's the 5 and 5.
Okay.
5 friends and 5 funders,
Good.
or donation,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Who did you on a monthly basis? Who are 5
Yes.
people you talk to about Brightwood?
That's right.
Who are 5
That's right.
people that
That's
you've
right.
talked,
That's
that.
right. And we talked about that engagement and
Mhm.
that's good.
Yeah, so I'm
I
listening. I'm
love to see
listening
it.
and applying.
Uh-huh.
So I'm,
Uh-huh.
I'm excited for 2026. We're
Yeah.
doing our best to
Yeah.
hold on to our staff. That's one of those hard times we just
Yeah.
talked about. Not having to downsize staff, and of course, staff understands that as things get tight,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do double duty and do a couple
Yeah.
different things. around here, not just one thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, Shauna, thank you so much for sharing your truth, your leadership, and your heart. I appreciate spending time with you. We'll catch up more later. And,
Yes.
I just want people to know that fundraising isn't just about raising money, it's
Mhm.
about raising mission, raising community, and raising hope.
Absolutely.
And if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, follow, and share. And I'll let Shauna, is there any other last words of encouragement or we have the website down below at Brightwood. Um, what's your website, Shauna?
It's brightwoodcc.org.
Okay.
And on there, you'll see, and it's we're gonna revamp in 2026 because we want it. I saw yours is fancy, girl. I got to have us
All right now.
website.
I'm
Um,
soberry.com. Thank you.
but yeah, so just stay tuned. We do a lot on our Facebook page. We post our events and things going on, and we just always appreciate the
Yeah,
support for sure.
yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, and as always, let's keep telling the truth behind the profession. And remember, fundraising is about raising that mission. Connect with us anywhere, consult with Jerry, and thank you.